Crasher here, and I welcome you guys back to another video. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what we have here in this video is we have ourselves some more leaks and rumors to discuss regarding Pokemon Sword and Shield. So with a video like this, ladies and gentlemen, I do urge you guys strongly to please take what we're going to be talking about here with a pinch of salt, as none of what we're talking about here in this video is confirmed information. What the purpose of this video is to have a little bit of fun with some leaks and rumors and speculation and all that stuff. You know, kind of get the hype going for Pokemon Sword and Shield, you know what I'm saying? So, without further ado, let's go ahead and let's begin. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so before we go any further, I want to also give a mention that what we have here is we have ourselves the leaks that are in a more organized format, so whenever we talk about something, we can highlight it, so that way we don't lose our place in the video. I'll link you guys to the original source of the leaks in the description box down below. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and let's begin with this. So we have ourselves, apparently, 96 brand new Pokemon in Pokemon Sword and Shield, and we're also going to have ourselves 19 Galar variants, so I guess Galar forms or something like that. That's pretty cool. And then 42 Gigantamaxing forms. So if we add 96, 19, and 42, that is a total of 157. Like, that is amazing right there, you know? Like, I'm just really excited. Like, the fact that we're getting Galar forms here based on these leaks would be pretty damn cool if you ask me, you know? I love having the fact that we have ourselves old Pokemon getting some love in the form of regional variants. So, with that being said, I'm also very intrigued about these Gigantamaxing forms, you know what I'm saying? We've spoken briefly about Gigantamaxing before. It allegedly changes the appearance of certain Pokemon, which is just absolutely mind-blowing, you know what I'm saying? So, I'm really intrigued to see if this is actually going to be a thing in Sword and Shield. But coming up next, ladies and gentlemen, what we have going on here is we have ourselves Wooloo allegedly having 2 different evolution forms, and they can be triggered depending on which weather you are at the moment that they reach their evolution level. Now, that right there is a really cool concept for evolution, if you ask me. So, I mean, with this right here, you know, would this change, you know, the aesthetics, or would it change more than that? Would it change things like the typing, the ability, the stats, the moves, etc.? I think that'd be pretty cool if they did something like this for Pokemon like Wooloo and others, you know what I'm saying? Like, just having more unique ways to evolve Pokemon would be very, very cool, and would add a more dynamic sort of adventure into Sword and Shield, because you'd be going out of your way to make sure that Pokemon evolves, and it would be under, of course, that certain stipulation, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that would absolutely be amazing, you know? And just, again, you know, if this right here was to trigger some sort of change in the stats, in the typing, in the move pool, abilities, things like that, that would be pretty freaking cool if you ask me. So next up, ladies and gentlemen, we have ourselves exclusive for the starter's third form. They will have slight visual differences based on its gender. This does not affect gameplay. Now, you know what would be pretty cool is if, depending on the gender differences, if it actually affected their stats slightly and maybe even changed their typing, you know? We never had something like that in Pokemon introduced before. Now, I think that'd be pretty cool, but I will say, you know, the gender differences is a very nice touch for something like the starter Pokemon, but that's just my opinion, you know what I'm saying? So, next up, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about camping. Now, camping can only be performed at the different wild areas and will offer gameplay connectivity with the still-to-come Pokemon Sleep. Ooh, that's interesting. Players can assign one of their Pokemon to the camping tent, which sends them to Pokemon Sleep. Bringing them back from the app in the next day will not only reward players with unique items that feeds back to the overall camping gameplay listed before, but also can improve chances for your Pokemon to attack first during the next few battles. So, I mean, that would also be pretty cool as well. You know, this kind of gives me some Pokemon Refresh Pokemon and me sort of vibes. So, I mean, I honestly hope that Pokemon camping is a thing in Sword and Shield. So this one here is an interesting one. This is in regards to breeding and eggs. So breeding and egg hatching is part of the game. However, a new type of egg will be available. This is to tie up with the incubators and hatching eggs in Pokemon Go. So I'm really intrigued to see how this is going to be implemented in Sword and Shield. So using the Pokeball Plus, the player will be able to connect this new type of egg to the device, and by walking around in real life, they can decrease the time needed to hatch. Hatching only appears in Sword and Shield. So, I mean, I'm really happy about the fact that they're bringing breeding back in Pokemon Sword and Shield, because honestly, you know, breeding Pokemon, you know, is really rewarding. Because you're going to end up, you know, breeding Pokemon that are going to have really good IVs, really good stats, and who knows, they may even appear to be shiny, you know what I'm saying? And I've hatched so many awesome Pokemon in the past, you know, not just in terms of IV breeding, but also in terms of shiny Pokemon as well. Most notably in Pokemon Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. But with that being said, let's keep going here. Coming up next, we have ourselves Eternatus. The third legendary Pokemon will be revealed later in the game, and this encounter will occur in a raid boss format. Woohoo! Wow, that's awesome. Where players will be required to Gigantamax their legendary for the first time to be able to beat and capture Eternatus, saving him from darkness. Eternatus will not have a Gigantamax form though. So, okay, like this is actually really interesting. Like, I'm just intrigued overall about this, man. I mean, if they actually did do something like this in Sword and Shield, you can bet your ass I am going to be hyped to the moon about this. So this one here is also a very interesting one here. We have ourselves a time-limited raid boss event. Oh, this is going to be good. So, time-limited raid boss events will be available in the game, where Game Freak provides unique encounters with some of the most popular Pokemon. So, I mean, okay, here's the thing, alright? This is where, you know, I kind of have a little bit of a theory. You know, I wish I had a tinfoil hat or something like that. But you see, here's the thing, alright? Is that time-limited raid boss events, alright? Just think about that. Events. Now, if you were to play Pokemon Go and you have raid battles, you have raid boss events that were only for a limited time. Like, say, for example, currently in Pokemon Go, we have ourselves Kyogre being a limited time raid battle boss. You know, this right here, we could be seeing potentially Pokemon being introduced back into Pokemon Sword and Shield through this event, but that right there is just my theory. You know, what I'm saying is that Pokemon that you normally wouldn't find in the Galar Regional Pokedex, we could actually end up having these Pokemon be introduced through these special raid events in Pokemon Sword and Shield by Game Freak. But let me know what you guys think about that in the comments down below. Like, what are your thoughts about this? Like, what sort of information, what sort of vibes are you gathering from this bit of information right here? Alright, so next up, ladies and gentlemen, we have this. There are 8 gyms in total, and they happen in a linear manner. Ooh, interesting. Every badge the player collects is added to a new gold ring device that serves pretty much as a display of what the player has earned thus far, which I think honestly is really freaking cool. You know, if they did something like that, you know, actually showing off the badges on like a gold ring, a gold bracelet kind of thing, that would be pretty cool if you ask me, right? So next up here, also pertaining to badges, collecting all 8 badges forms is a key made of the gold ring device that is used to access the Elite Four building at the north of Galar. Now, that right there is also pretty awesome, you know. If this right here was actually a thing, man, like, that would just be a very nice touch in Sword and Shield, in my opinion. So in relation to the last 2 leaks that we had talked about here, after the Elite Four, the player has to use this key one more time to get access to an elevator that leads to the champion located in the top of the Crystal Tower. However, on the way to this elevator, the player is surprised by a pack of hyena-looking Pokemon, wow, that is running away from a Team Yell. This encounter makes the player lose their gold ring device and all of its badges. What? Oh man, alright, that's really interesting to know. I mean, wow. So, I mean, like, what on earth happens to you once this happens? Like, what happens? Like, I just don't, wow. Like, this absolutely dumbfounded me, you know? But it's gonna be really interesting to see how this scenario plays out, you know, once this happens, you know? Like, what do you do in response to this? I don't know. But coming up next, ladies and gentlemen, in regards to this right here, the player has to head back to Professor Magnolia Lab to receive a new gold ring device and collect all the badges all over again. Oh no! Oh no! You gotta be kidding me, man. This second time around, players can collect badges in any order. Gym Masters will be stronger, and their Pokemon team composition is mostly new and or evolved. Oh man! Wow. That's all I can say is freaking wow. Like, that right there is going to be a pretty unique sort of idea to implement in the storyline for Pokemon Sword and Shield. Like, that's just, holy moly, that's crazy. So, anyways, ladies and gentlemen, we're reaching towards the end here, so expect a new Pokemon Direct in mid-August, where Game Freak reveals Team Yell, 3 new Pokemon, and the next gym leader, Kabu. So, I mean, you know what? Like, I wouldn't be too surprised if Game Freak had yet another Pokemon Direct sometime in August, you know? Because if we remember back to the first Pokemon Direct was back in February, and then we waited nearly 4 months, well, about 3.5 months for the next Direct, which took place in June 5th. So, so yeah. I could definitely see there being another Pokemon Direct, or like some sort of major announcement that is Pokemon Direct level in mid-August, you know? So I'm really, really excited about this, honestly. And finally, I want to keep the suspense for a little bit longer, but I can confirm that from all of those fake confidential concept arts for the starters last form, one of the starters was actually a real leak. What? Oh my god. So, alright. I mean, that's gonna be really interesting right there to see how this all plays out, man. But obviously, we gotta take things with a pinch of salt. We gotta take it on the chin if and when possible. But man, this right here, I can honestly say I'm just so bloody excited about all of this right now. I'm just really excited in general about Pokemon Sword and Shield. You know, despite the limitations and despite, you know, what they had removed, such as Mega Evolutions, Z moves, no national decks, things like that. I mean, I'm still very much excited for the game. I'm still gonna, you know, play the game and see where that takes us, you know? Like, I'm really excited for Pokemon Sword and Shield for what it is going to be worth so far. So, yeah, with that being said, man, that just about concludes this video. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys did enjoy this video, then make sure you fire off a like and fire off in the comment section down below. Get hyped for Pokemon Sword and Shield, man. Get in on the discussion. I would love to hear from you guys and your opinions about what was discussed here in this video. What would your guys' reaction be if what was talked about here in this video actually became a thing in Sword and Shield, man? I mean, I'm very much intrigued, and I get more and more hyped about these games as the days go by and as the leaks crop up. I mean, there's so much potential, honestly. There is a lot of potential for these games to be super freaking good, you know? So, with that being said, guys, I say thank you guys so much for watching. Have yourself a damn awesome and beautiful day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.